No one who visited Mistport would ever think of moving there. No one who lived there ever thought of leaving. Though the small town seemed hidden from the big cities, it still had its stories. There was Billy Bordeaux, a Vietnam vet who thought he was the reincarnation of Sitting Bull, a Hunkpapa Lakota leader of the Sioux tribe. He was paranoid about being persecuted by the American government. Overwhelmed by this delusion, he fashioned a tomahawk from a fire axe in his garage and chopped off both of his feet before driving the tomahawk through his skull. He didn't die. Doctors did everything they could to fight the infection, but he succumbed to sepsis 10 days later. Then there was Sally Walters, a 48-year-old bachelorette who lived with 50 cats. Depressed that she would never find love, she turned to food for comfort. Sally became so heavy that she was unable to leave the house, let alone get up from her sofa. She was found bloated and blue, half-eaten by the starving cats. Julie Sanders, a promising ballet dancer born and raised in Mistport, was on her way to stardom after accepting an invitation to join the Royal Ballet. A week before her departure, Julie was involved in a freak accident while shopping for ballet slippers. On her way home, the driver of a '58 Ford pickup lost control of the vehicle and hit a fire hydrant, ripping it from the ground. Propelled by the enormous pressure, the hydrant rocketed toward Julie, striking her below both knees and instantly amputating both legs. Witnesses rushed to her aid and stopped her from bleeding to death, but Julie's soul died that day. A month after the accident, unable to cope, she took her own life. Jack had heard these and other stories that found their birthplace in Mistport, and now he, too, would add a page to the dark lore that surrounded the small town's strange past. Regardless of these stories, Jack had always thought of Mistport as being a boring, uneventful place. Now, however, it was neither. Unbeknownst to him, Jack would play an important and lasting role in Mistport's future, whether he liked it or not. It was 7:30 p.m. Jack was worried about the party. His mind was filled with paranoid thoughts. Sarah didn't see him that night, but did she feel him? Smell him? He was worried that she had never spoken to him at school, and now she was suddenly inviting him to a party. This made him uneasy. He worried that Sarah knew her secret had been discovered, and that he was a threat to her identity. Surely there were more questions than answers. He was scared, more than he had ever been in his entire life. And yet he was drawn to her. He splashed some Dracan Noir on his neck and shirt. He had received the silky black bottle from his mother 2 Christmases ago and used it sparingly on special occasions. Tonight was certainly special, for better or worse. It was cold outside. Jack shivered as the icy wind blew through his jacket and sweater, penetrating his skin and chilling his bones. Sarah didn't live too far from his house, but the closer he got, the more doubts he had. He stopped more than once and tried to turn back, but the pull was just too strong. He heard music in the distance. Bananarama's "I Heard a Rumor." It looked like all of Mistport High was at the party. There were people everywhere. That relieved him. He made his way to the door and squeezed through a group of kids blocking the hallway. He didn't recognize anyone from his class. "You made it!" Sarah seemed genuinely happy to see Jack. He didn't know how to react. Yeah," he replied with a shaky tone. "Looks like nobody stayed home. How did you get so many people to come?" "I know everyone," she replied, looking deep into his eyes. He looked away. Jack was frightened and awed at the same time, terrified and fascinated. "That's cool," he said blankly. "Are you having fun, Jack?" Sarah didn't break eye contact. Jack looked everywhere else, but felt her eyes swallowing him up. What? Fun? Come on, let's go to my room," she said and grabbed his hand. Jack could have died right then and there. He felt a jolt go through his arm, traveling through his chest and up to his head. His legs grew weak, and it became difficult to put one foot in front of the other. Her hand was soft and delicate. His was sweaty and clammy. The most beautiful and popular girl at Mistport High held his hand and led him to her room. Suddenly, fear overcame him. The bliss was short-lived. Her room, where Jack had witnessed the terrifying and surreal transformation, was only a few steps away. She opened the door and let Jack inside. He wasn't sure it was the right room because it didn't look anything like the one he'd seen the night before. There were posters everywhere. Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future, Falcor from The Never-Ending Story, David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly from Labyrinth. There was a huge poster of Belinda Carlisle singing at a concert and clippings from Teen, 16, Bop, and 17 taped to the walls. Her bed was filled with stuffed animals, including Care Bears, My Little Pony, rabbits, horses, and unicorns. Textbooks and loose sheets from her notebook littered the floor. A few empty cans of Coke and a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos sat on a desk decorated with picture frames of Kirk Cameron and River Phoenix. Jack was confused. He walked slowly to the window and looked out. It was surely her room. Jack knew that it was impossible to put up all these things in such a short time, but he also noticed that none of them looked new. It seemed as if they'd been on her walls and in her room for a long time. Jack noticed that the corners of some of the posters were slightly peeling off the wall, as if time had taken its toll on the adhesive properties of the tape used to put them up. Jack didn't know what to think. Had he imagined everything he had seen last night? But it was so real. He knew what he saw. This room, how did it get like this? Someone must have helped her, he thought. "Your room is pretty cool," Jack said with a shy smile. "Who helped you put all this stuff up?" A little more serious now. "Helped me? What do you mean?" Sarah looked a little confused. "There's so much stuff." "It's a work in progress. I didn't put it up all at once, you know. It took some time, but it's finally looking the way I want it to." She noticed Jack's expression, as if he was trying to find a solution to an obscure puzzle. "What's wrong, Jack?" Nothing. I think it's cool. Your room's great." "What's your room like?" She smiled. "I imagine you have Led Zeppelin, Rush, and Whitesnake posters all over the place." "How did you know?" Jack felt a tightness in his chest. He wanted to leave the room and run away. "Wait, you have these posters on your wall? Wow, talk about lucky!" She was ecstatic. Jack was perplexed. What were the odds of her guessing the exact 3 bands? How could she have known? Maybe it was just a lucky guess. But what if it wasn't? What if, Jack thought, Sarah had some kind of power? If that was the case, then she knew for sure that he had seen her last night. Jack was nervous and it showed. "Are you okay, Jack?" she asked. "You look pale. Can I get you something? Do you want to lie down?" No, I'd better go. I ate something earlier that didn't agree with me," he lied. "Thanks for inviting me to the party. I'll see you in class." He started for the door, but she caught him gently by the arm. Their eyes met. "I think you're really cute, Jack. I don't know you well, but I know you're different from the other kids at school. We're both misunderstood, but in a strange way, I think we understand each other. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel it." Her words enveloped him and she moved closer. Jack could smell her hair, bubblegum, cotton candy, a garden of flowers that held the scents of all his fantasies. He felt his body float. Then everything went black.